Namaste, my friends, and welcome back to my channel. So, my intention for today is to help you understand what the throat chakra is, right? If you have not seen my previous videos about what chakras are in general, you're probably a little confused by this concept. I highly recommend you go back and check that out. But we're just going to dive right into it, right? So, the throat chakra is all about personal authenticity and you living in your truths in each and every moment. What is your capability of living in your true authenticity in each and every moment, right? What does that look like? It's all about communication in the form of expression, right? And so the physical location of the chakra is at the top of the cervical spine in the back of the neck, right? So if you bend your head back and feel that crease right at the back, right in the middle of that crease is typically where your throat chakra is residing. And so when we talk about chakras, we're not talking about physicality. We're talking more about the flow and the way and the manner of which energy and life force reaches your cells and vice versa. So the throat chakra governs the following: the neck, the shoulders, the tongue, the mouth, the teeth, anything having to do with your wisdom teeth, or anything having to do with, uncomfortability, your tonsils being taken out, anything obstructing this area. It actually overlaps with the root chakra a lot when it comes to the jaw stuff and the tooth stuff, because let's not forget, if you've watched any of my root chakra videos, you know that the foundational structures of our body are governed by the root chakra. So when you have something of the mouth area in this region that is governed by the throat chakra, they overlap. As you can see, it gets kind of messy and complicated. All these chakras have so much room and so much potential to overlap, right? And so more of the physicality of the throat chakra region is, like I mentioned, your tonsils. So if you got to get your tonsils taken out, that's definitely an imbalance of the throat chakra. The food that you actually eat, it's not supposed to, affect the throat chakra as much as it does. But let's not forget, food has to pass down through this region, you guys, to get to your stomach and all the other organs. So what this means is that the energy flow is affected by whatever you're putting into your mouth, right? So we have this chemical process of breaking down food, this mechanical chemical process of breaking down food, and you're actually altering the molecular structure of food. So what you can do is actually, there's several processes to help you kind of manipulate the vibration of that food that you're inputting in your body, and we'll get into that in our next video on how to kind of help correct the blockages or help the energy flow get back into divine order, right? So the thyroid is another big thing, right? So hyper or hypothyroidism, those are definitely symptoms of blockages, right? The vocal cords, so your ability to speak, your ability to be heard by others, your ability to just sing physically, or that's if you're not able to just let it flow out, you're not able to get your message across. That is an ailment of the throat chakra, right? So the neck, the back of the neck, the shoulders, right? Energetically, we actually end up carrying a lot of the weight and storing it in the form of lower vibrational frequencies in our shoulder areas when it has to do with this throat chakra, right? Probably one of the least common things that people talk about when it comes to the throat chakra is, this also dictates your ability to be a good or bad listener, right? Because this chakra also affects our ears. So physically, how we hear things, right? Our eardrums, if you have hearing difficulties, if you have any kind of deficiency when it comes to your ears or your eardrums, that is an imbalance in the throat chakra. And I want to say I'll make a video going a little bit more into detail about how blockages are developed, because there's two ways. One, they develop physically, and then this starts to affect our energetic body, and then it starts to affect our emotional body and the rest of our life. Or it's the opposite. It starts to develop energetically. Say you're getting yourself worked up about something, you're stressing to the point where you're blocking that energy flow in the form of lower vibrational frequencies with thoughts and emotions and whatnot. And that's when people have strokes because of stress and the high blood pressure, low blood pressure. That's when people start having health problems because of certain ailments that they have, because they can develop either way, right? And so with hearing impairment, it can be either way. You can either have damage done to your ears, and then this later starts to affect other aspects of your life, or vice versa. Like I said, you can be energetically blocking off this energy. A lot of the time when people clear up blockages, they notice that they can hear better. And it's like, oh, okay, well, that's because every single aspect of our physical body is affected by chakras, right? Our chakras are the blueprints, the foundations for our physical body, right? We developed our chakras before we developed any of our organs or our blood vessels or any of that, right? And so any ailments or dysfunctions or anything like that to these regions, like I said, are governed by the throat chakra. So the color that is the closest vibrational resonance to the chakra is blue, right? And so any kind of like lighter blues, even the color of my shirt might be a little too dark, but any kind of like lighter blues, teals and aquas and stuff like that, as long as they're leaning on the bluish side, as long as they're a little bit lighter, it's really helpful to do kind of chromotherapy healing. If you have not seen my video on chromotherapy healing, definitely go back and check that out. So in the ancient language of Sanskrit, they actually refer to this center, this energy center, as Vashuddha. I hope I didn't butcher the name, Vashuddha, right? And this actually means purity. When your throat chakra is in balance, people really gravitate towards you as a leader. That is a big kind of trait of somebody who has a very balanced, amazing, functional throat chakra energy center, is somebody who is a powerful leader who can get their message across to other people, and people perceive it in the exact way that you meant it to be perceived. There's no kind of like question, or there's no kind of awkwardness and like, oh, I'm not really sure what they meant by that, or whatever. So another thing I felt really compelled to mention is that the throat chakra is really, really affected by the sacral chakra. So if you have not yet seen my sacral chakra videos, I highly recommend you go back and check those out. It's got some good info in there, and these two are very closely correlated. And it is because, if we remember, the sacral chakra is all about your expression of your creativity, the expression of your desires and wants and needs, and expression of your passions, expressions of your sexuality, expression with that sacral chakra. And when it comes to the throat chakra, it's all about expression in the form of communication. I just want to give some examples of ways to express yourself without speaking, right? So you can express yourself authentically through tattoos and piercings, right? You may have tattoos and piercings you love that nobody else would understand, right? What you choose to wear, your outfits, your attire, how you choose to present and represent yourself is living in your true authenticity, if it is representing yourself in a manner of which you love, right? So your facial expressions is something that I mentioned. You can sing, you can dance, you can write, like I said, you can sew, you can live out any of your authentic passions. I don't care what that is for you. You could be a cello player, you could be a reptile specialist, or you could be I don't know, just whatever is out there. As long as you're doing it big for you and nobody else, then your throat chakra is going to be popping on point. So another way to express yourself authentically is maybe supporting an organization or like a fundraiser or something like that that gives back to people that you are authentically passionate about, maybe. Sometimes, for example, they have like art charities, and say that they're raffling off, art pieces for charity and stuff like that. Maybe you're an artist. Maybe you could donate to like an art charity or something like that, whatever, right? Just there's creative ways to switch it up and make you feel good in your heart, and have other people reciprocate that energy when they're enjoying your work and they're grateful and it's adding value to other people. It's all about that balance. Like, I'm adding value to other people and they're adding value to me, right? To my life. That fulfills me. Alrighty, you guys, that was the general overlay of what the throat chakra is. Stay tuned for my videos where I go a whole lot more in detail about overactive and underactive, too much energy flow to that center, what that means, not enough flow of energy to that center, and what that means and what that looks like. We're going to go over, we're going to get into it. We're also going to go over how to balance out those centers as well. So I hope you all are having an amazing week. Namaste.